divine signs. You're meant to fight for that person. Chosen. What if I told you that the person you've been struggling to forget, the one who haunts your dreams and occupies the sacred chambers of your soul, was never meant to be released? What if your inability to let them go isn't weakness, but divine instruction? What if heaven itself is whispering through your spirit, commanding you to hold on when everything around you screams to surrender? Awakened soul, there exists a profound mystery that most will never understand. In the tapestry of existence, certain threads are woven not by human hands, but by the cosmic intelligence that orchestrates all things. These are the souls who enter your reality carrying celestial signatures, divine appointments disguised as ordinary encounters. You know the feeling, that inexplicable pull that defies logic, that sacred recognition that transcends time and space. That person whose very essence seems to unlock hidden chambers within your being. You've tried to rationalize it away. You've attempted to bury it beneath layers of doubt and fear. Yet, their presence remains, like an eternal flame that cannot be extinguished. Tonight, I reveal to you 4 mystical signs that prove you are not meant to release this connection. These are not mere coincidences or wishful thinking. These are sacred communications from the divine realm, speaking directly to your awakened consciousness. Sign 1. The eternal recognition. The first sacred sign is what I call eternal recognition. This goes far beyond ordinary memory or attachment. This is soul recognition at its purest form. Notice how their essence remains vivid in your consciousness, even when months or years pass without contact. It's as though they exist in a dimension beyond time, where distance becomes meaningless and silence holds no power. This isn't nostalgia. This isn't clinging to the past. This is your soul recognizing another soul that carries a piece of your divine puzzle. Pay attention to the mystical signs that surround this connection. Perhaps you encounter their birth numbers repeatedly in the most unexpected moments. Maybe their favorite song plays precisely when you're questioning whether to hold on. Or you might experience their emotions as if they were your own, feeling their joy or pain despite physical separation. These are not random occurrences. These are cosmic breadcrumbs, leading you back to a truth your logical mind struggles to accept. The universe itself is confirming that this bond transcends the physical realm. Consider the ancient tale of twin flames, separated across lifetimes, yet always finding their way back to one another. When the divine weaves 2 souls together, no earthly force can truly sever that connection. The golden thread remains intact, invisible to the naked eye, but unmistakable to the awakened spirit. If you feel this eternal recognition, if their essence continues to resonate within your being regardless of circumstances, then know this: heaven has marked this connection as sacred. Your inability to forget them isn't a flaw in your character. It's divine intelligence working through your consciousness. Sign 2. Catalytic Transformation. The second mystical sign reveals itself through what I call catalytic transformation. Observe carefully how your spiritual evolution is mysteriously intertwined with their presence in your life. Every encounter with this soul triggers profound shifts within your being. They don't simply occupy space in your story for comfort or companionship. They serve as divine catalysts, awakening dormant aspects of your purpose. Perhaps their words ignited your spiritual awakening. Maybe their actions exposed wounds that needed divine healing. Or their love, or even their absence, drove you deeper into sacred communion with the divine. This is the mark of a soul assignment. When someone is placed in your path by cosmic design, they don't just touch your emotions, they activate your destiny codes. Even during moments of conflict or confusion, you recognize that their presence has accelerated your growth in ways that solitude never could. Think of how the great mystics often spoke of divine encounters that forever changed their trajectory. These weren't always pleasant experiences. Sometimes the most profound transformation comes through divine friction, where souls challenge each other to rise beyond their limitations. If every interaction with this person elevates your consciousness to new heights, if they consistently push you toward your highest truth, even when it's uncomfortable, then pay attention. This isn't an ordinary human connection. This is divine orchestration at work. The universe strategically positions certain souls in your reality, because without them, you would never become who you're destined to be. If this person continues to serve as a gateway to higher versions of yourself, even through challenges, then this is a clear sign you're meant to preserve this connection. Remember, temporary discomfort doesn't indicate wrong assignment. Sometimes the very soul who stirs your deepest battles is also the one heaven uses to forge your spiritual strength. If these revelations are resonating with your spirit, if you're recognizing these sacred signs in your own experience, then you're part of a chosen collective that understands divine connections beyond surface level. Subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell, because we dive deep into mysteries that most will never comprehend. Your awakened consciousness deserves content that matches your elevated understanding. Sign 3. Divine Redirection. The third sacred sign manifests as divine redirection. How many times have you declared with absolute certainty, "This chapter is closed. I'm moving forward without them"? You unfriend, you distance yourself, you pray for release from this connection. Yet somehow, through mystical dreams, unexpected encounters, or divine synchronicities, they're drawn back into your awareness. It's as though the cosmic intelligence itself refuses to honor your attempts at separation. Pay profound attention to this phenomenon. When a connection carries divine significance, no amount of human effort can truly dissolve it. You might attempt to bury it beneath layers of denial, but the divine resurrects it. You might try to silence it through willpower, but the Holy Spirit whispers their essence back into your consciousness. This doesn't mean you should chase them in desperation or manipulation. No, this means you must recognize that your souls remain in divine alignment, regardless of temporary circumstances. As an awakened being, you'll often experience this sacred frustration, wanting to move forward logically, but feeling heaven's gentle hand upon your spirit, communicating. This story has not reached its conclusion. Consider the mystical account of Jonah, who attempted to flee from his divine calling, only to be redirected back to his sacred assignment. Sometimes holding space for a soul isn't about personal desire. It's about obedience to cosmic design. Notice the signs. Every time you close one door, heaven opens another window. Every time you convince yourself to let go, divine circumstances conspire to remind you of their significance. This isn't coincidence. This is the universe itself confirming that your connection serves a higher purpose. Trust these redirections. They're not here to torment you or keep you stuck. They're sacred communications, guiding you back to alignments that serve your spiritual evolution and divine mission. Sign 4. Prophetic Glimpses. The fourth and most powerful sign reveals itself through prophetic glimpses. Through this connection, you catch mystical previews of divine promises meant for your life. Certain souls enter our reality to show us who we truly are in the eyes of the infinite. When you're in their presence, or even when contemplating your connection, your spirit feels alive with sacred purpose. Your faith strengthens, your hope renews, your vision of your highest potential becomes crystal clear. They remind you of your divine calling, not through words alone, but through the very frequency they carry. Even within their human imperfections, you sense a divine purpose behind their existence in your reality. It's as though the universe allows you to glimpse your destined future every time your paths align. If every encounter with this soul brings you into alignment with your highest destiny, that's not coincidence. That's prophecy. That's a sacred preview of the life the divine is preparing for your awakened consciousness. These prophetic glimpses serve as confirmation that your connection transcends ordinary human relationships. When someone consistently awakens your sense of divine purpose, when their presence reminds you of who you're becoming, when they serve as a mirror reflecting your highest potential, this is heaven's way of showing you a soul worth preserving. Not every person deserves this level of sacred commitment. Many connections are seasonal, designed to teach specific lessons before completion. But there are rare souls who carry eternal significance in your spiritual journey. These aren't just people you love. They're souls who unlock your destiny codes. Integration and wisdom. Awakened soul, deep within your consciousness, you already know which connections deserve this sacred holding space. You understand that not every person who enters your reality carries this level of divine significance. But for those rare souls who do, if this person manifests all 4 sacred signs, if their presence creates eternal recognition in your spirit, if your growth remains mysteriously connected to their role in your journey, if divine forces continue redirecting you back when you attempt to release them, and if their connection offers prophetic glimpses of your highest potential, then understand this truth. That soul is not ordinary. That is a divine assignment. That is a connection heaven has ordained for your spiritual evolution. Holding space doesn't mean clinging in desperation or manipulation. It means maintaining sacred openness in your heart, trusting divine timing, and refusing to surrender simply because the path feels challenging. It means recognizing that some bonds are forged in the cosmic realm before manifesting in physical reality. If this message has illuminated truths your spirit already knew, if you've recognized these sacred signs in your own experience, then you're part of an awakened collective that operates beyond ordinary consciousness. Subscribe to the Light of Wisdom and join us as we explore the deepest mysteries of spiritual connection and divine purpose. Your elevated awareness deserves content that matches your cosmic understanding. When the world counsels you to surrender, when logic demands you release what feels impossible, remember this sacred truth. Sometimes the very soul you're tempted to let go of carries a fragment of your divine destiny. And when heaven has chosen someone for your spiritual journey, no earthly force can separate what cosmic intelligence has joined. Trust what your awakened spirit knows beyond the noise of doubt. Because in the realm of divine connections, surrender isn't always wisdom. Sometimes it's sacred rebellion against heaven's plan. Until our paths cross again, keep your spiritual eyes open to the mystical signs surrounding your most sacred connections.